Hello everyone and welcome back to Sonic Rumble Player Spotlights. With us today, we have Velcomia, owner of Sonic Central. This one goes on for a bit long, we do apologize, but it was a great conversation and I hope you guys enjoy. Alright, thank you again for being here with me, Velcomia. To jumpstart things, how long have you been a Sonic fan and what is your history with Sonic?
Oh dude, we're going back like 1997. So dude, the first Sonic game I played was actually Sonic 2. Because my grandparents owned the Genesis/Mega Drive. So, yeah, I played Sonic 2 when I was like 2 years old, 3 years old, something like that. So, yeah, I've been a Sonic fan pretty much my entire life, dude, and followed the series through its ups and downs. And honestly, at this point, I can't imagine ever not being a Sonic fan. I'm pretty certain I'll like Sonic for the rest of my life now, so...
Totally get that. I mean, yeah, my first was Adventure, as I've stated previously, and since then, I've never really been able to put Sonic down. I don't know what it is about the franchise.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite Sonic game has got to be 3 and Knuckles. I think that is a pretty popular choice, I guess, and then I'd probably say Sonic Adventure is my second, because that game, dude, oh my god.
Those are the two highly regarded games, whether it be classic or modern. I have to agree with you there.
I'd have to say, after going through Sonic Unleashed recently, you know, the recompiled thing, dude, that is like shot straight up for me now. Like playing that game at 60 frames per second with higher resolution, dude, I've got like my love for that game has grown up so much.
I have seen that happening. A lot of people have been getting back into the game or even being able to play the game for the first time ever due to the recompile of it. I've loved going through it. My opinions on Unleashed still remain the same. It's still the middle ground for me.
That's fair, that's fair. I mean, it's not perfect, I'm going to admit.
I love a lot of the cues that they take from Adventure when it comes to that game.
Yeah. But that's the thing, it really does feel like a big adventure sort of thing, right? But I just think it has got a few pacing issues here and there. I think that's quite a common thing people say, you know, the medal collecting, which I get because I remember I was playing through it and I just wanted to progress through the game. It was like, oh no, I'm missing like 20 medals. Now I've got to go back into the stages and hunt for them. So yeah, I think that's one thing that lets Unleashed down a lot.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. But still a great game, nonetheless. Like, you know, and Frontiers definitely reminded me a lot of Unleashed, oddly.
Yeah, I feel like Frontiers is sort of like, the way Frontiers feels to me, it kind of does feel like it's like a return to form sort of thing. It kind of feels like an ambitious adventure sort of thing, which I feel like was lacking since maybe Colors. Like, if you compare Frontiers to, say, Lost World, for example, the difference is huge. So hopefully from now we get those big ambitious adventures again.
That's what I'm rooting for. You know, I know that they said that they're going to be taking a lot more time with the Sonic games to focus on quality over quantity, starting I think next year. So we are going to be seeing less releases for Sonic going forward. But if that means that these games can be bigger and better, I'm all for it. Please.
I'd say even Sonic Rumble is an example of that because they've been taking their time with that, right? I mean, they delayed it and then just to make it better, right? So
yeah, just to make it better. And then we have Crossworlds coming out. I mean, my theory is they want to get both of these games out this year and then have it as a way to add content to both of the games until the next mainline title comes out.
Yeah. Exactly. It's a smart strat, I think.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Especially since I know it is hard going through a Sonic drought, so having something there will at least alleviate the wait.
Well, yeah, I mean, remember the days 2020 and for a bit, there was nothing going on. So
I was so scared.
Oh no, dude, it was like, what's going on with this series?
Yeah, I mean, speaking of Rumble being delayed and, you know, just on the topic of Rumble, I guess that leads into this next question I have here for you. How did you specifically learn about Sonic Rumble?
Well, actually, it's quite funny actually because I actually found out about it on Reddit, but in quite a weird way. There was like this subreddit where it talks about game rumors and things like that, and someone posted a leak, I guess it was, of Sonic Toy Party or Sonic Toys Party, or post the logo for that. So I was thinking, what is that? Because the logo looked just like the Toy Story logo. So I didn't know what it was, right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then eventually it was revealed, and yeah, just from there. I remember watching that first trailer though. I was like, I remember the frame rate being a bit, it was a bit jittery. But yeah, that's how I found out about it.
I feel like that is also another thing that a lot of people may have found out about this game from just the leak alone, because I remember that really skyrocketed over social media when that started spreading like wildfire. My first initial reaction to it was like, I didn't think I was gonna like it.
No, that's dude, I'm with you on that. Honestly, when I first saw it, right, and I first saw that trailer, I was like, yeah, you know what, I'll check it out, whatever. I wasn't really looking like into it a lot, but when I first installed the game, I think 3 months ago, so man, like I was so wrong. Like the game is so addictive. It's just so hard to put it down. And, you know, we have no idea what it's going to be like in global, right? We're going to have way more content. There's going to be the skills. I think this game's only going to get better.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I mean, with the recent crossover event that unfortunately will end by the time global launch comes around, just seeing the other Sega characters there really interests me, because when it comes to promotion with crossovers and whatnot, they usually opt to give characters skins or emotes based off of the character that they're going to put into the game.
Yeah.
As opposed to just the actual character themselves. So if they can go beyond that with other franchises and having, like, I don't know, if they were to ever do a DC collab due to the DC comics that they're doing right now, having just playable Batman would be insane.
Imagine that. Batman in Sonic Rumble.
That would just be crazy. And I think that would 100% be one of the selling points for getting the game alone. I mean, I was much like you, just watching the gameplay and seeing it very much like a Fall Guys clone. And I wasn't already a big fan of Fall Guys, and I was just like, I don't know how I feel about this one. But after playing it, it definitely clicked. It was like, okay.
The thing is as well, right? I mean, it does get that kind of comparison a lot of being a Fall Guys clone, but I kind of disagree. I mean, like, yeah, sure, there are similarities, sure, but if you actually play the game, like, it really does not feel like Fall Guys at all, because I've played a lot of Fall Guys, right? And I feel like that game focuses a lot on, like, the physics, the ragdoll physics. I don't know, Sonic Rumble just feels like its own thing, right? I mean, it
doesn't even feel like a Sonic game.
No, exactly, it doesn't. It's got the Sonic DNA in there somewhere, but I like how unique the game feels.
And I'm glad that this is something that Sega's doing, because, like, I don't know, it's just unique to see them do something for Sonic that doesn't actually feel like Sonic. And again, I think that's another selling point that this game has to the average consumer that doesn't play a lot of Sonic games. They don't have to play a game that feels like Sonic. It's just a game that has Sonic in it.
Exactly. And what I like about Rumble as well is I've wanted a game like this for quite a while, where it's like a live service sort of Sonic game, which will continuously get updates, that kind of thing. Now, I know obviously we've had Sonic Forces Speed Battle, but, you know, Sonic Dash, they get updates, but they are cool, but I'm just not really the biggest fan of those temple run sort of games. I mean, like, the novelty just wears off. And anyway, it's also with Sonic Forces Speed Battle, I feel like there's a big power creep problem. I mean, I remember playing that in 2017, right? And it was fun, but I returned to it when I was in Japan a few months ago. And dude, what the... I cannot get over how crazy some of the abilities are in that game now.
I've seen some of them, and it looks like usually when they add a new character, I mean, I can't say from experience, but it looks like they have a huge balancing issue whenever they add in a new character. But yeah, no, I mean, definitely Rumble is a game that I think it is the Sonic game that I've always thought and dreamt of having. It's just not in the form that I thought it would be, because, like, I remember growing up and just thinking about multiplayer or massive online multiplayer Sonic games in general, and, like, always wanting, like, a Sonic Online or something where I could just go and hang out with people as Sonic characters. And I think this definitely has the potential to feed that itch that I had as a kid. So it would be interesting to not only see them add more onto this game minigame wise, but having something structured similar to, like, I guess Fortnite in a way, where you could go around in some modes in Fortnite and just hang out with friends. I think having just a chill thing where you could maybe even do some party games within the map as well, like parkour maybe. I think that would be really interesting to see them put in.
I think the custom lobbies is also helps with that as well. You know, you can just do custom matches with your friends and everyone plays as different characters. So yeah, I think this game, like you, I've wanted an online Sonic game like this for ages, and things like custom lobbies, for instance, where you can invite your friends and just chill out. You know what I mean? It's great.
Oh yeah, no, it is fantastic, and again, I'm surprised that Sega's even attempting it, but it's good to see that they are, and it seems to be received pretty well. So speaking of the different characters, segue into this next question I have here for you. It's kind of a no-brainer, I know, but who's your favorite character to play as?
Well, it's got to be Sonic, dude. It's got to be Sonic. And it's got to be specifically that 2025 Sonic skin. For some reason, dude, I just don't take it. I just don't take it off. Other than Sonic, I suppose the Lantern Silver skin is what I've probably used the most after that. And then, I think there's a Shadow skin as well. It's an epic skin. It's like what's it called again? It's like a Fire Shadow. I can't remember what it's called now.
Oh yeah, I know what you're. I think it's Fire Style Shadow. I think that's what you call them.
Yeah, I think it might be that.
But yeah, no, that 2025 skin. I think you're like the only person I've seen wearing that skin. I could be wrong, but I don't think many people bought it.
No, I actually, from memory, I don't recall playing against anybody that has used that skin.
And it could just very well be that because they released that skin for a very limited time, that was like the skin that was available for like 5 days, 7 days maybe.
I think that skin might have popped up around about the same time I started playing the game. I think I started playing it around December 31st, so it was probably around that time. It all adds up, I suppose, with it being a New Year skin.
Yeah, that was the New Year's celebration thing that they did, and I've seen more people with the emote as opposed to the skin, so I think a lot of people just didn't have the red rings saved up or just didn't want to buy the red rings to get the 2025 skin.
I think when I bought the skin, it came with that emote as well, which was pretty neat. I think so, yeah. I don't recall buying it separate. Maybe I did. I can't quite remember.
Maybe they had it separate for those who just wanted the emote.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably one of the most unique emotes, I think, because he whips out like a different mesh, if that makes sense, like a giant party popper type thing. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, but no, the 2025 skin, definitely, I could see that being a popular skin if they were to ever bring it back. I don't know when they would bring it back, or if there would be even a reason to bring it back.
I don't really know at this point, to be honest, because I mean, I suppose they could, because obviously we are in 2025, but after this year, it wouldn't make any sense, I guess.
Yeah, I guess not. I mean, unless they do like a thing where every new year they bring back the previous New Year skin to go alongside the collection. They have some pretty interesting skins in this game that I'm very pleased to see. So I'm very curious to see how much more creative they can get with new characters that they add in, because I think with the Sega characters, even I don't know how likely it would be, but like having separate skins for Ai would be even more interesting. I know we're getting Mimi soon.
Yeah, I wonder if she's going to be her own character, or if she's just going to be... Oh no, she's probably going to be her own character, right?
She's probably going to be her own character, unless you want to count the Were-Dragon and the Werewolf as the same. I haven't really changed their cosmetics around, so I don't know if those are the same skin slot or not.
Yeah, I don't know either. No, I don't know either. I remember when I first equipped one of those skins, and by default, for some reason, it had all the Sonic stickers. I don't know why they did that. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was a bug, but apparently that's always been a thing. It just uses the thing that you, or the loadout that you had already previously played with the most.
Yeah, it's quite interesting, yeah. I'd like to see Billy Hatcher in this game, because like the thing is with Billy Hatcher as well, he's like that perfect size to fit into this game. Just a classic platformer type thing. And
he's a forgotten Sega character. I guarantee that, like, you know, 9 out of 10 chances if you're talking to somebody about Sega and you bring up Billy Hatcher, they probably won't know who you're talking about.
Dude, I genuinely think that's such an underrated gem. I love that game. It's great.
But moving on from favorite characters, what would you say your favorite stage or stages would be in Rumble as of right now?
So I'm going to list them all in their sort of category, I guess. So favorite run stage is probably Green Hill Run 2, maybe. I love that stage. It's great. And I like doing this little trick towards the end where you, do you remember near the end of Green Hill Run 2, there's this giant rock that you can attack to get rings? Well, if you have a red star, right, you can use it on an opponent and you can jump right over the rock, and then you can quickly get to the egg pawns, and then obviously you'll get all those rings. So I like those little tricks you can do. In terms of maybe hunt, I don't. Oh, frozen factory hunt. I like that one. You know, where you're sliding down.
Oh yes, yeah. And then if you have the baseball slide, you can get some pretty decent height, some pretty decent distance.
Yeah, you can just, yeah. The thing is with hunt, no, and you know where I'm going with this, the desync, dude. It really does make the hunt stages just annoying, especially chemical plant hunt, which I'm getting so much recently, and they disappear way, like you'll be right next to the crystals and they're just gone. It's crazy. The thing is, I notice it in pretty much any stage, like any ring battle, really. I mean, say you're approaching a red star, you think you're about to get it, but you're not. You know, it can happen in any stage, really.
Yeah, it's wild because like the connection feels so perfect until you reach that red star and you phase through it and the person behind you got it. You're just like, what do you mean?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, people can blame internet connections or whatever, but you know, I make sure to do speed tests and everything. It's all good, right? It's all good. I don't have any issues.
I mean, people play this game wired in, and they still have that desync issue.
And you still have the problem. Like if you look at gameplay from anybody, really, you will notice that problem. Doesn't matter who's playing it, really. I think it's definitely a problem that needs fixing on global. Let's hope it at least gets a little better.
I'm fingers are crossed, and if you can't, you know, I perfectly understand just taking the stage and shelving it for a little bit to figure out what the main issue is, and then bringing it back.
Yeah, for sure. Let's think about the team stage. Yeah, okay, my favorite team stage. While I'm not the biggest fan of them, really, it's got to be the Green Hill one, where you've got to fight all the enemies. I actually think that one's pretty decent. I don't really have many.
That one is the most decent one.
I agree. The Sky Sanctuary one is pretty decent, I think. I don't really have many issues with that. It's mostly just the Seaside Hill.
Yeah, Seaside Hill is a bit much. I really do like the Sky Sanctuary one a lot.
Yeah, I agree. It's great. Got it 3 times last night, I'm pretty sure, which was wild. I remember when I first started playing this game, right? And for the longest time, I did not see it. It must have taken me over a month to finally see the stage because I was trying to do all the stage challenge things. For the life of me, I just could not get the stage, but eventually it started showing up a bit more. It's weird.
Yeah, I don't know what the rotation thing is like or how they cater towards it, but it is. I wish there was more of a way to get the stage that you need, specifically when you're trying to do the challenges, because with these challenges, you have to play on the stage multiple times, and you can go a full week without getting the specific stage that you need, and it's just like, come on.
Thankfully, I have managed to beat all the stage challenges now, but yeah, I think doing the squads and stuff also helps. Just keep going, because sometimes with squads, like for some reason with squads, sometimes only certain stages appear. Like for example, whenever it was, I had to do the Starlight Carnival Hunt, which is also a great stage, by the way. I forgot to mention that one. It's got to be between Frozen Factory Hunt and the Starlight Carnival Hunt, but I digress. But yeah, for the longest time, I just could not get that one in the regular ring battle, but for some reason in squads, it was showing up more, so I just did it through squads.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, because, I mean, even squads, as you're saying, has its own exclusive stages outside of the normal ring survival that you would usually get into, like the Tornado one in Sky Sanctuary, that's exclusive to squads. You have the exclusive, what is it, Silent Forest ring hunt team stage where you're like having the...
Oh yeah, it's quite weird how they're exclusive to squad, but the premise is the same, right, as the ones in ring survival. So I don't quite understand why they've done that, but yeah,
I don't know. I mean, fingers crossed again that squads becomes a permanent mode with global launch, because it is driving me insane that it's not a permanent mode already.
Dude, that would be one of my most played game modes. It is a shame it's not always open, but I mean, Callie brought up a good reason. Maybe they don't want to split the player bases much. I get it.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm thinking right now, considering it is in pre-launch. They don't want to have somebody, you know, a majority of them over in squads as opposed to in ring survival. So I mean, it definitely could be expanded on when global comes out, but I don't know. So I can't really put I can't really put anything on the line right now and just say yeah, expect it for global.
Yeah, and so in terms of my favorite ring battle, I'd say it's between Starlight Carnival Ring Battle 1. I'm pretty sure that's the one where you're constantly running. You know that which one I'm talking about? Yeah, I think that's Ring Battle 1. Yeah, and then probably Desert Ruins Ring Battle. I've grown to love that stage a lot. I think it's fantastic.
It is great. I wish there was another Desert Ruins level somewhere.
That music as well, dude.
That music is great.
Why is the music so good in this game too? Ugh.
I don't know. I wish I had somebody ask me if we knew who the composers were, and we don't. It's driving me insane because it's just like, who did they get for these?
I think I remember reading somewhere, and don't quote me on this because I did fall into that rabbit hole briefly, but I think it might be someone that works on the Like a Dragon games.
I mean, I could definitely see it. I could 100% see it because these are some of the top-notch remixes for Sonic we've had in a while.
Yeah. If I can find the link to how I found that out, I'll send you it, but I definitely read it somewhere.
I mean, I would believe it because, again, these songs are just professional grade remixes. They are remasters almost. It's like, you know, it's the same song, but they add so much to it that makes it feel so much more original. I mean, again, I know he's not working on it, but Pinball Carnival's remix just sounds like a T-Lope song. It just sounds like a T-Lope song.
That's probably one of my favorite tracks in the game. I love that little break in the middle of it where it goes all jazzy. It is fantastic.
It is great. So please, and this is what makes me more excited for more stages out of the ones that we already have in the game. Like City Escape getting a remix. Oh, please.
They should really do a City Escape stage at some point. Like, imagine like a survival stage.
Yeah, with the gun truck. I mean,
that's like perfect.
Take it like Generations.
Yeah. It could also be similar to, like, you know, that Seaside Hill survival where you're running away from the chopper, is it? It could be similar to that, just running away from the gun truck. It's such a, I don't know. I think that would work quite well.
I think I can just imagine it being sort of like the classic Sonic section from Generations.
Yeah, like you'd control the construction and stuff. I think that would work great.
Any other favorite stages?
Oh, right. I haven't even told you my favorite survival stage. Favorite survival stage is probably Green Hill, the Green Hill one, where you've just got to avoid Eggman. The thing is, I feel like my list might change a bit because the thing is with those survival stages, they're over so quick right now because there's so many bots, right? I mean, the Seaside Hill Survival 2, it might be. I think it's that.
Yeah, it's the one with the floaties. All the bots get like cornered and then they fall into the water.
Yeah, I was playing on that last night, right? I'm not kidding. And I think it's in one of the videos I did recently as well, a commentary. And dude, that was over in like 6 seconds. So I think the landscape of survival might change a lot upon global because, and like the Starlight Carnival survival, what we did yesterday, that gets intense, right? But in most ring survival stages, like rounds, that's over so quick because, again, bots. But when we go global and people start getting really good at the game and matches are filled out with actual players, we could be seeing that on a regular basis.
Oh yeah, no, that made me scared with how like we handled that the other day. We got our first taste of what it would be like in an actual survival stage with real players.
That stage gets intense. I think surviving on that when it starts going so quick is just so difficult. I mean,
oh yeah, I don't think I've ever seen it get that fast.
No, I don't think I've lasted that long on it either. But you can do a little trick where you just purposely smack into those blue blocks to break them. I swear you can do that, but when it's going so quick, I'm trying to think about other stages. I think I've pretty much covered all my favorite ones now, but generally there isn't many stages in this game I don't like. Actually, really, that's a lie. I don't like Frozen Factory Ring Battle. Oh,
your favorite?
Well, yeah. I mean, dude, there's something about it, man. Something about it. I just cannot get good at it. It's the snow.
It's the snow. The snow is a big factor there, especially with how quickly it respawns back in after getting through it.
It's feel in that stage, if you're not able to get the speed shoes or the magnet, that's it. Yeah, because you just won't be able to get to the rings in quick enough.
You've got to really, and I mean, like, it's hard to I guess, take this tip, but the past few times that I've played on it, usually the speed shoes spawn in around the same area each time I get to it. So I try to memorize where the speed shoes will spawn.
I'm starting to actually do that a bit. So when I start the stage now, I go to the around the left side, the bottom left side, and generally a speed shoes to spawn around there. So I'm just gonna have to keep practicing it. I think I could probably practice it in like the custom game. You know, you can just do it solo and just sort of learn where things spawn, like the basic idea of where they spawn.
I think personally for me, my favorite would probably have to be the Seaside Hill survival. The first one with the giant chomper. That just gives me so much Crash Bandicoot vibes. I can't not like that one. That just has to be my favorite.
I love that one too, and that's another stage where it's going to be like, whoa, what's this going to be like on global? Because again, it generally always ends. I feel that stage right now always ends in around the same place. It's yeah, and I don't really see some stages. I don't even know what I like after certain. Like, for example, I don't even know when Seaside Hill Survival ends. I haven't seen enough of it. So, yeah. It's the same with Starlight Carnival Survival 2, I think. The one where you have to stay on the purple trail thing. I don't even know where that ends.
I don't either. I remember I was playing in a custom match with, I think Callie was there. And it got so far that, like, we got to these badniks that were shooting missiles at us. And I was like, what?
Yes, I've seen those. Because I think when it pops up in squads, I have managed to get there. They're like these gray enemies, right? And there's like homing missiles or something. Yeah. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see on global.
So yeah, no, the stages, I can't wait to see what else they'll add. And that's a good selection of stages, I'd say. Quite different from what I've heard from many others.
I think they're just generally the stages I perform the best in. I don't know what it is, but especially, like I said, the Desert Ruins Ring Battle, like, I just really love that stage. I seem to perform pretty decent in it. I'm trying to learn little new tricks in it. Like, I found out the other day, instead of waiting for this... so when you go up a level, there's these walls that keep coming out. And just sort of jump around them instead and homing attack the rocks to get around them. And just little tricks and shortcuts like that. And I think that's also, in general, what this game does well, is like figuring out new strats and new shortcuts.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I remember from the interview that I did with Isaac, the thing that he said the most, that was what you're probably going to get the most out of this game is learning how to speedrun the stages. Because it is adrenaline boosting. It is really fun to pull off a clean run of a stage that you usually suck in.
Yeah, I think I can perform pretty well in the Green Hill Run 1. I found a new strat at the beginning, so like obviously you use the baseball slide, but just after you go off the ramp at the beginning, you can quickly baseball slide on the very far right and get through the middle bit way quicker. I'll have to show you an example at some point, but yeah, if there is just, who knows what else we haven't figured out, right?
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I'm sure more things will definitely be discovered with a global launch.
Skills as well. Yeah, the skills. Ooh. I don't even know what to make of those. Like, we don't know anything about what anybody's getting. I think maybe we know Amy's getting the hammer, maybe attack, but I don't really know. Maybe Sonic's got the spin there. I don't know.
I'm interested to see how that's gonna change up the gameplay. To move along to this next question for you, being so skilled, what is your current rank, and are you aiming for anything in particular?
So my current rank, I think at the moment is, I think it's 53. It's either 53 or 54. It might have dropped overnight. I haven't looked today, but it would be nice to climb higher than that. But I don't know. When I look at my score now, the difference is exponential. Like, I think I'm on something like 70 something million, and I think the one after me is like 80 million. So it's like, I'd have to play a lot just to move up one rank, because I'm pretty sure number one right now, it's not Isaac. Can't remember who it is. I'm pretty sure they're on 270 plus million. So they have around 200 million more points than I do, which is crazy. Yeah, I mean, some of these top players, they have thousands of games played, and that's great. I mean, obviously they love the game. It's just crazy because I've got, I think, 580 something games played, and to me that's a lot. Like, that feels like a lot. Like, I've been playing the game loads, but I mean, that is nothing compared to what some other players have got. I mean, I'm pretty sure Isaac's got 6,000 plus.
Yeah, no, I mean, and that just goes to show, like, the game's good.
The game's doing something right to have people playing this much.
It definitely is. It definitely is. To have over 6,000 games played, like, and they're still playing the game, there's something here that is working. Because, like, I could just imagine someone grinding all the way to the top of the leaderboard and then dropping it, you know, after they've made it to the top. But no, these guys still play.
Yeah, exactly. They could be, I mean, like, they could have the mentality of, I've done all I need to do, I'm gonna bail and do something else. But no, they're continuing to play. It's just a good sign, really. I mean, the game hasn't even. We're in pre-release. When did pre-release release? It was like October, right, or something like that. Maybe it was a bit before then.
Somewhere around October, I want to say.
It depends when these players started, I guess. I'm not sure when they did, but I mean, that's a lot of. It hasn't pre-release hasn't really been a thing for that long, really. Then, right?
I mean, it's been about 3 months, I'd say, because each season has lasted about a month, and we're on pre-season 3.
That's a good point. Yeah. So to have that many games played in such a short amount of time, obviously the game's, like I said, doing something right. I mean, I'm constantly playing this game. I love it, you know? I haven't been this hooked on a multiplayer game. When was the last Overwatch when that first came out? Probably that. And no, it seems like I'm being biased here because it's Sonic, but you know, if this game wasn't any good, I would have dropped it by now. I wouldn't, if Sonic or not, right? If I'm not having fun, I'm gonna drop it. But it's the exact opposite.
I mean, that's how I feel about most of Sonic's mobile titles as well, as we discussed in the beginning. You know, Dash and Speed Battle, they only hold their interest for so long, but this game, maybe it is just because it's an actual 3D like game in a 3D space that it just makes it more interesting, and you actually have control over your character.
Yeah, I just think there's a bit more substance here, a little more depth, you know.
With your current rank and whatnot, we've talked about this a bit in the favorite stage question, but are there any like big tips or tricks you can give to people that want to take the game more competitively if they're looking to take it more competitively?
Well, a big tip would be just study each stage, maybe go into the custom and just learn layouts, learn shortcuts. Also, there is something I've noticed as well, which I make this mistake sometimes, is if you see another player get a red star, right, don't attack that player because they'll just red star you right afterwards. So I'd say try and find another opponent to use a red star on. I made that mistake actually on Frozen Factory in a video I did. So yeah, be mindful who you're attacking with red star. Also, attack the player with the crown on round 3, because again, yeah. But no, I mean, obviously attacking the guy with the crown or whoever it may be will deplete their ring count. You'll get some of their rings. So, because if no one's attacking that player, they're not going to lose anything, right?
Oh yeah, no. Especially, I think that's something that I see a lot of people not do, I guess. Whenever it comes to like ring battles and whatnot, you know, you have the person with the crown all the way on this side of the map. Meanwhile, I'm on this side of the map seeing this guy get hit, that guy get hit.
Yeah, so the guy with the crown is just sort of chilling and just doing their own thing and not losing anything. But I think also a lot of people, when they get the red star, they know they've got the red star, so they think they need to use it. But you don't necessarily have to. And I think that's another bit of advice as well for specifically round 1 of each ring survival. If you have the red star, right, and you get it at the beginning, I suppose you could use it, but I fail to see much benefit because at that point, no one really has any rings at that point in round 1, and you could just save that for mobility. That's what I seem to do when I'm in round 1 as well. Like if I'm in first place, just use it for mobility.
That's what I aim to do most of the time, but I mean, it is so hard to maintain that for just mobility alone, because you never know if someone's gonna come flying at you with the red star, or whatnot. And I mean, it's happened multiple times where I'd go to use the red star, but then like last second someone pops up on screen and it's just like, oh, now I can't use it.
Yeah, yeah. There are obviously a few different shortcuts as well. For example, if you have a red star on, I think it's Seaside Hill 1 or 2. It's the one where like there are those hidden blocks. There's blocks and you have to cross the yeah. Okay, so you can use a red star to obviously bypass one of those. So you only have to worry about the next two, sort of thing. So, what I would, yeah. But what I would like in the future for this game though is the option to sort of toggle the lock on. I don't know how they would implement that, but so you're just not automatically locking on.
Having another boost item of some sort would definitely, I think, be really good. I know we have extreme gear that helps some people falling behind catch up, but you know those are very limited in the spots that they spawn in, and by the time you catch up, if you really are far behind, it's not really gonna do you any favors. So having another item as opposed to the speed shoes that would allow you to get some mobility airwise, I think would be very nice to have.
Yeah, for sure. Because I think with the red star, like I do like it because it has multiple uses, but sometimes it can just be annoying, you know, trying to traverse somewhere, but oh no, there is someone very slightly bit behind, and then I just automatically lock on, and instead of going forward, I'm going back now. That sucks.
Those are some pretty good tips and tricks. And again, I mean, this has been regurgitated before, but you know, if you're in a match with someone that looks like they're a pro player or that they know what they're doing, or if you even recognize their name from scrolling on the global leaderboard, you know, don't stick too close to them, but like try and study what they're doing, like study their approach to these stages, because they know what they're doing. So you could definitely learn a lot from just watching.
Yeah, exactly. It's a really good idea.
So this moves on to the last question that I have here for you. If you could suggest one thing or provide feedback to the devs about something, what would it be?
Well, ultimately, my biggest issue with this game right now, and me and you, Dave, have spoke about this a lot, and we've even spoken about it today in this call, but it's the desync. It really is the one thing in this game right now where it really lets the game down a lot, right? And it's obviously more of a bug than a feature or whatever, a new feature I could recommend, but that is the one thing which I just wish the devs would address, and maybe they are, I'm not sure. But that's really about it in terms of it, and obviously also the auto lock thing. I'd like an option to be able to manually lock onto an opponent, kind of thing. But yeah, it's got to be the desync. Has to be the desync.
Nah, totally agree with you there. Desync definitely needs to be addressed. I'm sure there have been some people that have noticed the desync and have reported about it or put it in suggestions. So
yeah, I think it's just when a game is solely multiplayer, right? It can't have problems like this. It's because it's not a minor bug, right? It really does affect the whole game.
Yeah, and that is the one thing that will get the negative machine running when it comes to Twitter or just any other social media platform. Especially when the floodgates open and you have new players coming on, and you just see a sea of videos of people being like, the desync in Sonic Rumble is horrible, don't play this game, and all this kind of stuff. So like, to avoid it, if it's not something you can outright fix, the only suggestion that I personally could give, not being a dev, not saying that you have to listen to me any kind of way, but I feel like the best approach to it is to disable those stages for now. You're not really missing out on much.
I agree, especially with competitive coming in global. Yeah, obviously when you're in a competitive setting, you can't, it's not a good thing if things are out of sync, right? Because there's not really much competitive there, because, well, you could lose because of the desync, right? So I don't know, I do think it should be a priority for sure.
I want to thank you so much for your time with me here.
Thanks for having me, dude.
Yeah, no problem. We'll have to get you in a Sonic Rumble cast sometime.
Yes, I'd be down. I'd be down.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you again, and thank you guys for watching. Again, I want to give a huge thank you to Velcomia for participating in this, and be sure to follow him. His social links can be found in the description down below, as well as a pinned comment. Please comment down below who you'd like to see in the next player spotlight for the channel. And if you want to keep up with more Sonic Rumble content or Sonic content in general, be sure to subscribe and click that notification bell. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.